and got you on looking at the left scope here. I'm going to change a few things on the radar. I'm changing the radar channel target histories to 2 and the PRF to auto.
Bandit 06, clearance available, advise ready, copy.
Bandit 6 ready, copy.
Bandit 6, good, Whiskey 291, CF2 departure, mouse transition, Tango 03 routing, maintain 2000, departure on 363.1, your squawk 4722.
Copy all, 4722.
Roger, active flight, Navy break, Navy November Juliet 436, clearance available.
That was the clearance guy.
436 ready, copy.
Navy November Juliet 436, you're cleared to bar via Juliet 5 departure, Imperial transition.
Put the information down at the bottom of the HUD there, looking through the HUD now, and you can see kind of what I'm doing here. Change the radio to button 4 so we don't have to listen to that guy. He just told me my squawk was 4722, so I'm going to punch that in here. And changing a few other things. COM 2 with the VHF radio, I'll change to 5152. And go to list page, put the bingo in for 1,800 pounds. That means I'll get a fuel light at 1,800 pounds of gas. And I'll know that I need to go home. List 6, see how my alignment's coming along. It's flashing at me, so it's ready. So I'll go ahead and take that. And that shows you my latitude and longitude there and the altitude. So the airplane knows exactly where it's at. And wherever I go, it can tell me how to get back here, hopefully. And change a few other things here. Let's go over to the right side here. Go to the SMIS page, or Storage Management. Get an inventory. We see you don't have anything loaded, so I'll load a couple fictitious missiles, just so I can practice them. And you see I got a missile on that station. Then we'll go to this one. Put in a different kind of missile. And now I got a missile on each wingtip. Go to the rack stay and make sure I don't have any loading racks loaded, because I don't want them. And now to inventory. Now back up to the front, going to air-to-air mode and setting up my radar so I have it work. Actually, I'll put you on the right side. You can see what I'm doing over there. And this is the missiles for whatever I want an AIM-9P on when I go to the dogfight mode. And I got snapshot LCOS. The other one, I want AIM-9 Mica. I can cool the missile there, and I want it slaved to the radar line of sight, so I'll leave it where it's set there. And on this station, I'll go to the AIM-9P also. Okay, just about ready to taxi, and I'll be back in a minute. And I'll explain a few things here. The left side is airspeed. You can see the C stands for calibrated airspeed, and I'll explain that later. It's at 00 right now because I'm not going fast. On the right side's altitude. I'm at 500 and a little over 20 feet, and that shows you the altitude. The pitch line's up there. The little tadpole's right in the middle of the line that goes straight across. The line is the horizon, and the tadpole that's in the middle will go up and down, and that shows where the airplane's going. And of course the lines on the top and the bottom, 5 and 5, or 5 degrees nose up and 5 degrees nose down. And the other little thing pointing backwards is the steering to the steer point. It shows me that I got to turn around and go the other way to go to steer point 20. I know what steer point I got selected because it's at the bottom right hand at 000 to 20, which means 0 miles to 20. And I'll call for takeoff. Be ready in a minute. You're switching to departure control and taking the runway. And I'll be doing an afterburner takeoff here. You'll be able to see the airspeed come up rather quickly. Okay, all set. Running up a little bit. Checking the flight controls. I can see them all from here, which is nice. All pressure there, that looks good, so here we go. And plugging the afterburner now. It's staging good. And the airspeed on the left side, you can see how it comes up rather quickly. And 140 knots, I'll rotate. And the gear's coming up. And there's the tadpole showing you how high up I'm going, 2.5 degrees. Gears up safely. 300 miles an hour now. Departure Bandit 6 airborne mouse.
Bandit 6 sending a departure control radar contact, maintain 2000.
Bandit 6 2000. And he told me to maintain 2000. I'm supposed to be at 325 knots. 325 and climbing. And approaching 1500
Wings
feet.
Express 710, San Diego approach. Good morning. When able, proceed direct Mount Soledad, enter left traffic runway 28 for Montgomery.
And turning left to heading at 280. There's 2,000 feet. So I'll bring the little tadpole down to the horizon. And I'll hold me right there. You can see the La Jolla golf course going underneath us here. Probably can't see it too good on the HUD. But we're going right over Torrey Pines here in just a second. So that's all there is to takeoff. Be back in a minute. A target. Now look through the little diamond on the HUD. There's a diamond, and you see that little black dot in the middle? Well, that's traffic out there at 1,000 feet. I can tell his altitude by the one over there, and he's at 5 miles now. And a departure calls me to turn left at 7 miles, so I'll do that. To heading at 253. Okay, some more symbology. The little thing up at the top shows a 29 and a long arrow. That's pointing to the guy I have a radar contact on. And it's a helicopter. Actually, you can't see him from here because he's 35 degrees right of the nose. But it's a twin-rotor helicopter. Departure Bandit 6 for hire.
Bandit 6, fly heading 230, Vector Whiskey 291. Make sure your transponder's on. I'm not getting it.
We'll go.
I've fired about 3 miles.
Bandit 6. And I'm still at 2,000 feet, slightly under, you can see. And trying to get to a higher altitude. Back to the radar scope. I can run the range out, see if I can find somebody else. There's a bunch of people.
Bandit 6, climb, maintain 14,000.
Bandit 6 out of 2 for 14,000. So, there's your speed left side. Plug an afterburner. And you can see I'm at 400 knots and accelerating, going 45 degrees nose up. And there's the altitude on the right side. You can see it climbs rather rapidly. And 4 1/4 now.
Bandit 6, you're rodent.
Bandit 6 is on a mouse. And I'm going to pull out afterburner so I can make this 14,000 foot restriction. And went over at about 20 feet, but not too bad.
Yes, sir, 1811, San Diego departure control, radar contact. Climb and maintain 10,000.
And I just realized I didn't show you all that on the
Bandit 6 is 8 miles from Whiskey 291, radar service terminated. Clear the TCA, contact Beaver.
Bandit 6, switching Beaver. And we're back on the HUD now at 14,000 feet. And I got to talk to some people. Be back in a second. 40 miles. Let's see if we can see him with the ground map. I'll put you on the left side. There's a target there. Can lock him up. He's at 12,000 feet. He's headed 260.
Bandit 6 radar contact 10 miles east of Whiskey D, may fix the altitude.
Bandit 6 level at 14.
Bandit 6, roger, maintain VFR. Reporting frequency changes. Would you like a Beaver discrete?
Yes, I'd like a discrete, please.
Bandit 6, use Beaver discrete 344.1, RTB 266.9.
Roger, switching 344.1. Okay, let's we'll go out of air mode to ground map. I'll raise the scale out to 80 miles. We'll see if we can see this island out here. And there it is. And that's the island of San Clemente right in the middle of the scope. So I can tell it's just inside 40 miles, actually. The end of the island's at 40 miles now. And that's how ground map works. And back to the air mode. See how many targets we got out here. There's the closest one. And he's 16 left of the nose at 6,000 feet. And back to the HUD. You can see he's left of the nose down at the bottom there. We won't mess with him right now. And box that just shows up on the left side there. He's inside that box, but because he's 15 miles away, you can't see him yet. But that's how you'd find him. Continue to look in the box. And now I'm in an air-to-air mode. You can see that on the bottom left hand. It says AAM, air-to-air mode. And it gives me weapon symbology for whatever weapons I have selected. Unfortunately, I don't have any on here today. Now I'm in the dogfight mode if I wanted to gun him. And you could probably just start seeing the island we looked at on ground map a little earlier. supersonic run. I'm at 350 knots, passing 26,500 feet, which is on the right side. And again, that airspeed there is calibrated airspeed, which is kind of strange thing to explain, but there's true airspeed, so that's what I'm really going. And there's ground speed. That's how fast I'm going across the ground. So I'm going 450 knots across the ground, but my airspeed's only indicating 325, and that's because the air's thin and there's less molecules impacting my speed checker thing, and so it doesn't seem like I'm going very fast, but I'm actually going 425 ground speed, which is corrected for winds, and 475 through the air. That's my Mach, so that's how fast I'm going in Mach speed, or relative to the speed of sound. We're at 38,000 now. Let's go ahead and we'll plug the afterburner here and get up some speed. Because we're at altitude, the acceleration isn't as rapid, but you can see the 0.8 Mach down there just now. Press the nose down a little bit.
Marine uniform 44, Los Angeles Center on guard. If you hear me, ident.
Okay, there's Mach 1, so we're supersonic right now. Anyone below us would probably not be happy, but fortunately there's
Marine uniform 44, ident observed. Try Los Angeles Center frequency.
Get rid of that guy. Start listening to him. Okay, we're doing 1.13 Mach. See, it says 400 airspeed there, but let's go to ground speed again and see how fast we're going. Okay, we're going almost 700 miles an hour now. And we'll climb it up a little bit. And we're doing 1.3 Mach. Calibrated airspeed, let's look at that, or excuse me, this is true airspeed. So I'm doing just about 800 miles an hour at 1.4 Mach.
Smith 740, be advised the northeastern corner of Fleet Hot, this one hot surface to 10,000, be advised you're 2 miles north of that now, recommend you move northbound.
740.
I'm doing some pretty good conning right now. You can't see it out the front, but out the back I'm leaving a trail just like the airliners do. Okay, we're at 43,000, and we're doing 1.5 times the speed of sound. And we'll just continue to accelerate a little bit. Here's 900 miles an hour. $950 miles an hour. And 1.7 Mach, so 1.7 times the speed of sound. And for all you that ever wanted to do 1,000 miles an hour, there's 1,000 miles an hour. and 1.85 Mach. And just about Mach 2 here. And there's Mach 2 at 1,150 miles an hour, and I think that's about as fast as I care to go. So pulling out, and let's do some turn back in.
Sabre 702, traffic passing at 5 o'clock, 2 miles westbound, H3, 400 feet.
702.
Okay, up in the top left-hand corner there, it shows G. I'm pulling 5 Gs right now. And down at the bottom, it shows how many Gs I've pulled all day. So there were 6.5 G, 6.6 actually, and you can see at the bottom it stays on there, and so I know how many I pulled all day. In case I pull too many when I get home, I can tell maintenance and they can check the airplane to make sure I didn't bend anything. Go to 80 miles is right there. And this little thing I'm moving around right here in a circle is it shows the altitude of the range. So since I'm halfway up the scope right now, at 40 miles, I'm looking from 14,000 feet to 43,000 feet, and there's a target right there. Coming in and out. You might be low, so I can run the antenna down. Looks like it's frozen right now. Let me see if I can unlock it here. On the scale back up. Yeah, and that little thing right there is the steer point. That's the steer point I have selected. And that's where we'll go when we go home. We'll go to that little spot in the sky. Now let's go up the HUD again and do some maneuvering. We're still at 40,000 feet, which is pretty high. At 300 indicated, which is 560 miles an hour. Actually, that's knots, so it's probably close to a little over 600 miles an hour. And we usually fly around and calibrate it. So let's turn upside down and go down. I'm pointed right at the ground now, 4.5 Gs, and you can see the altitude going down over there. You can roll it around, point back to where we want to go. And there's a 7.5 G pull there. It's hard to talk when I'm doing that. And I'm just out on a warm-up hop, so I need to do some acrobatics here. Kind of warm my body back up. And now I'm going below 20,000, a little cloud layer there. And there's the island in front of me. Got a guy on the radar here that I'm looking at. Actually, there's two of them flying in a close formation, so I'll lock them up. Pull over to them, and they're in the diamond there at 25 miles, so I won't be able to see them. But they're in there doing 0.95 Mach, so I better slow down a little bit. We'll go over here and see what's happening. Upside down. All right side up. There's a little boat out in the old bay over there. The San Clemente Island's about 80 miles from Miramar. Well, let's see how far I am from home here. So you look in the right-hand corner there, all at the bottom. I'll put in steer point 20, which is base. You see I'm 64 miles from steer point 20. If I come out of this mode into the nav mode, it'll take me 8 minutes and 49 and 54, 5, 6 seconds to get there. And the steering thing up on the right on the line now is pointing back towards the base, so I need to come right a long ways to get to it. That's how all that stuff works. We'll go ahead and put steer point 8 back in. And see what's happening on the island down here. Not a whole lot, it looks like. And on the right side, you can see we're at 4,000 feet.
Port Griffin 702, traffic 12 o'clock, 3 miles westbound, H3, 400 feet.
702, looking.
2,000 feet now, and doing about 400 miles an hour. There's some fishing boats here. They love it when we do this, I'm sure.
702, Tally Ho.
And you can see the fishing boats down there. And I can't go much lower than this, because I'll really piss them off. And this is what they love. There's 350, we'll plug a little afterburner, go over this boat.
702, do you have a traffic info?
And pull it
702, that's affirmative.
straight up into the vertical. Yeah, we're accelerating in the vertical at 400 miles an hour. Passing 8,000 feet. And
Alright, so 730, traffic 12 o'clock, 5 miles, northeastbound, F-18, 10,000, IFR.
And back over the top.
730, looking.
At 15,000 feet. Give him something to talk about when he goes home today. 20 miles, he's headed, little thing points to where he's headed, so he's headed 210. And, well, let's go back to the HUD. You can just now see him in there. Must be something big, probably an E2 or something, because normally you can't see a fighter size at 17.5 miles. We'll go kind of check him out here. Clear up the scope a little bit.
Griffin 702, Beaver.
7020. Beaver 702.
Red Griffin 702, Beaver.
Beaver, Red Griffin 702.
People are
Beaver,
calling.
Red Griffin 702, copy loud, clear, go ahead.
Beaver.
Red Griffin 702, Beaver.
Go ahead, Beaver, reading you loud and clear.
Okay, as request you come up primary.
702.
And it's an airliner. We don't want to go too close to him, so we'll head on back.
Then it's 6 boundary advisory, 5 miles from the northwest boundary Whiskey
Here. That's that line there is called a VSL mode, and I got to put somebody on that line to lock them up. Unfortunately, there's no one out here to lock up, but that's how it worked. Another mode I have is called just escaped me for a minute, but I can move this little ball around, and the radar looks in that direction. So if I think a guy's in that quadrant, I'll go to there and it'll lock him up. Another mode I got is called bore sight, and basically I got to put somebody in that little cross. If you imagine lines covering that like a box, I put him in there up to 10 miles and lock him up also. But again, there's no one within 10 miles, and I can go back to my scope over here. And there's somebody out a little ways, looks about 18 miles. And he is 17 miles at 14,000 feet. NG turn. Well, we'll do it now.
730, we're out here doing ASW on top of the island here, low below 3,000.